Hi, welcome back. Thank you for indulging us once again. I'm Maryann Barnsley. I'm here with Andrew Fenn. He's the videographer extraordinaire, if that's a word. So today we're going to do a little bit something. We're going to mix it up a little bit. I think we'd all agree that where we live here, our community is a very, very special place. People are always very supportive. And somehow we've been able to step up. It's crazy. So many people are helping each other. So today we're here with Gail Shaw at the Senior Center here in Plymouth. Gail manages both the Plymouth Senior Center as well as the Newfound?
Yes, that's correct.
And they do tons of work. All year long they do tons of work. So we'd like to highlight some of the areas they have worked in the past, what they continue to do, and how they too have stepped up.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome, Gail. Thank you very much. So tell us a little bit about the Senior Center and what they typically offer to seniors and things like that.
The Senior Center, both in Plymouth and Newfound, are under the umbrella of Grafton County Senior Citizens Council that's based in Lebanon. In a minute, you'll meet our Executive Director, Kathleen Vasconcelos. We offer many programs for seniors, activities, congregate luncheons, outreach services, which are social services, as well as our home delivered meal program and transportation on our buses, which are parked over there right now.
Nice. So Gail, on a typical day, how many meals do you deliver? How many home meals do you deliver?
Home delivered meals out of Plymouth are typically about 100 to 105. From Newfound, we had 25 or so.
And now?
Well, we've definitely amped up, although I have to say that in some cases people have dropped off as well, respecting social distancing. But we're up to about 140 from Plymouth and 30 from Newfound.
Wow, that's phenomenal. That's phenomenal. I know one of my favorite buildings here is the Senior Center.
Mine too.
And they host seniors. There's a Friday kind of get-together meal type of thing. They've hosted weddings, which
Absolutely.
is crazy. A great building for that, as well as a lot of holiday events too. So some other things that you guys are doing to help the senior citizens in particular during this time?
Well, right now what we're doing is keeping as much open as possible, although many of us are working from home. And so I'm one of those mostly working from home, but I want to mention that our kitchen staff, a few of them are behind us, are working all the time here in the kitchens preparing the meals to freeze, and then instead of sending a hot meal daily, we're sending 7 frozen meals.
Very good idea.
Once a week.
That's great. That's great. So we're here with a plethora of people today. So Gail, could you introduce who we're here today with?
Certainly, and I'd really like to let Kathleen Vasconcelos step up first, and I'll give her my microphone.
Kathleen, can you tell me a little bit about what the whole Grafton Regional Senior Services look like?
Sure. So in Grafton County, with the Grafton County Senior Citizens Council, we have 8 senior centers normally operating. Right now we have fewer buildings, we have fewer kitchens in operations, so we've kind of consolidated, but we're still serving the same number of clients. We're producing and delivering approximately 4,000 meals every week.
4,000 meals?
Countywide.
How many volunteers is that?
We have some volunteers, but we're actually trying to limit the number of volunteers to reduce that interaction.
Right.
But we still have dozens of volunteers. We're using our buses to deliver some meals because we're delivering a week's worth of meals at a time.
Right.
So that adds up.
Wow, that's phenomenal.
And we're thrilled with the community support that we've been receiving throughout the entire county. We have volunteers pitching in, we have people donating canned goods, pet food, toilet paper. We're delivering a lot of things with the meals in order to keep our high-risk clients at home and safe.
Great. We'll supply some numbers at the end where people can reach out with donations. Once again, Gail here is with a bunch of different people, all making donations. Once again, as we've talked about, really stepping up and helping out the seniors. So Gail, could you introduce who we're here with today?
Here's Sharon Atwood. Come on up. And Sharon's offering gift cards. And can you tell me how you received them?
So I received an anonymous donation from a friend. And the idea of this donation was to put some money back into my community by making purchases at local businesses and then using those gift card purchases to donate to people in our community that are in need. For instance, these volunteers that are delivering the food could possibly use some gas cards, or somebody who has not had having a hard time might enjoy a meal delivered from a restaurant, or someone might need something from our local hardware store. So my job is to go out in the community, make these purchases, and then find people in need and what the needs are and where they are, and donate the gift cards. So this again was an anonymous donor. The total amount was $1,000, and that is my duty right now, is to go out and gives me purpose while helping my community.
Nice. Sharon's done a great job coordinating with the police, the school system, folks here at the senior center, just trying to figure out where best needs are met. So once again, thank you, Sharon.
So I'm Angel Ekstrom. I'm the Public Health Emergency Preparedness Coordinator for Central New Hampshire, and we're working with all the partners throughout Central New Hampshire, and several groups of sewers have come together. Kate Hedberg and her sisters have donated a tremendous amount of masks that we've gotten out to the community, as well as a group called Sew the Curve Flat. And
we'll meet them later on today.
Oh, wonderful. Yes. So they also have given a lot of masks that are, again, given to partners who are delivering meals, supporting those who, would be best if they did stay home and
Sure.
and whatnot, and just those who need to get out and go to the grocery store and go to the post office and do those things. We also have had some partners, just residents that come and give gift cards, and we are also giving these out to those who are who are in need.
That's a great way to do it.
Yeah, so there's a lot of effort, and we just, times like this make you feel really good about where you live.
Sure.
And those that make up your community.
Awesome.
And so I have my office for the Public Health Emergency Preparedness for the Public Health Network for Central New Hampshire is out of the Senior Center. I moved in here
nice.
In January, and it's just been a wonderful place to work and base out of.
Right.
It's just a very robust and energizing community, and it's been really fun to be a part of it.
Great.
So thank you.
Awesome, thank you.
So I want to thank you, Angel, for our lovely masks and for the generous donations and for being a tenant here at the center. We love having you here. Thank you.
Gail, what else is going on here at the Senior Center?
Today we're fortunate to have Paul and Bill from the Plymouth and the Newfound Rotaries here, and they have done some fundraising. They met earlier with Kathleen at a Zoom Rotary meeting, and after that meeting, fortunately, they put their hands together and came up with a great donation.
We're here with some folks of the Rotary, both the Plymouth and the Newfound Lake Rotary, and as Gail said, they've really put their heads together and stepped up as well, and they're here to make some donation. Gentlemen.
Thanks. So I'm Paul Brochu. I'm the president of the Plymouth Rotary Club, and with me is Bill Karkek, the president of the Bristol Club. And we have always had a special place in our hearts for the Senior Center, for all that they do for the seniors out in both the Plymouth and Bristol areas. So with everything that's going on right now, we decided we would combine our efforts, and our two clubs would like to present this check for $6,000 to Gail and to Kathleen. In support of this.
Thank you so much.
You're
we
welcome.
Really appreciate it.
And thank you so much for all you do, not only for the seniors, for our community as well. It's much appreciated.
Thank you so much for being here, for thinking of coming to meet with us. We really appreciate it. Take care and be safe.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So now we're here with Pemi Valley Sew the Curve. They're a group of many volunteers. So I'm here with Esther Cudahy. She has most of the credit as far as starting this group. It's amazing. How did all those pieces fall into place?
Well, it kind of started with, we saw that lots of people were making masks on Facebook, and which I thought was really exciting, but I felt that people were making masks and they didn't know where to go. So I contacted some of my friends and said we should really put this initiative together. And before we even get to that, I first want to say that even though I got this group set up on Facebook, honestly, the credit goes to all the women out there that are sewing. We found that primarily it's women that are doing this work, which is pretty incredible. So yeah, we just put together this organization. I got in touch with Chris and Tisha, and I said, you guys are awesome sewists that I know in our community, and I want to tap into your knowledge, and I need your help because I can't do all of it by myself. So here we are.
Nice. I can say having liked them on Facebook, the energy that that comes through is amazing. You guys are so up and like that. It seems to be happening really well.
Yeah, it seems that everyone's really stepped up. Our goal when we first started this was we really wanted it to be a community initiative.
Right.
Like while Tisha and Chris and I have all done the organizational aspect and put these kind of things in place to make it easier for people to request masks or for people to be a part of making masks and even the distribution aspect. We've just found that everyone has just stepped forward and really taken control. We see lots of women, giving each other supplies and buying elastic and divvying it out to other people that need it, or even like going as far as having bias tape makers made from a 3D printer and given to some of the women that, maybe might not be as experienced sewing.
Right. I do want to say, although the group is made up of all women, they happily have some, Andrew, they would happily have some men, boys,
Absolutely.
girls.
Anyone that falls in between, and we want to encourage that. We actually have had a few men be interested. My wife has a sewing machine, but she doesn't sew much, and I really need guidance on what to do. And so we just send them links and send them encouragement. And we want to invite everyone. Our group is open to every person, and we want to encourage anyone that has an interest in sewing. If you can sew 4 lines, you can sew a mask.
Right. All right, we're now here with Tisha Chance. Tisha's also part of the whole group of women, kind of part of the whole starting of this group. How many members, how many volunteers are part of this group?
Now there are just shy of 200 in the group.
Wow.
It grew really rapidly when we first sort of started putting it together, people seeking out, what they could do, how they could contribute. And even if they don't sew, there's people that are looking to help out, which is really great. Yeah, we have one person who's been doing a huge amount of cutting up of fabric, which it sounds. Well, there you go. You're on board.
Cut.
We'll give you the URL for the sign-up sheet. But it sounds silly, but it's really helpful.
Thanks.
Because, as Estee always says, it takes 90% of prep work and 10% actually the sewing, so
I think there's more.
Right. So we have people helping with that, and then obviously distribution has been really important. So we set up 3 collection points in Plymouth. The Common Man Inn is a drop-off point. We have the Mad River Coffeehouse in Campton, and then North Country Quilters in Rumney. So that's been really helpful because people can just stay local, not travel too far from home. And North Country Quilters has also been one of our providers of supplies.
Oh, wow.
So, and everybody's been chipping in with supplies. People have raided their own stash at home. Elastic's been a really big thing. It's not available in stores anywhere in the country. So we've been bulk buying.
Oh, bulk buying.
Yeah,
Okay.
so we've been bulk buying and literally giving it out.
Wow.
Just saying how much you need, how many masks are you making. People have been supporting us if they're not able to cut fabric up or drive around by donating to GoFundMe. We have a GoFundMe set up.
Great.
So we've been using that uniquely for buying supplies so that we can get masks made.
Great.
Yeah.
Great. So are there other ways that folks can get a hold of some masks other than kind of going to the Common Man in addition to?
Absolutely, yeah. We would ask that you only go to the drop-off points if you're contributing masks that you didn't know what to do with and you've run out of friends and family that need them. But yes, we have a Google sheet and a website that we set up, or the Estee put together really quickly.
We'll have those links
so,
and whatnot at the end so folks can see them. And
yeah, absolutely. So yeah, it's been so much fun. It's a lot of work, but it's a lot of fun too.
Like
seeing everybody come together, and I think it's providing an awfully big sense of purpose at a time when we don't feel like we have a lot of control over much. So.
Right. Now we're here with Chris Valenti. She's going to show a little bit. Chris, how do people properly wear them? What's the best way?
All right, that's a great question, Maryann.
Thanks.
So first, we have a few different models. If you have been on the face mask scene, you've seen that there's probably 30 different face mask models out there. We in our group have narrowed it down to 2. We've done the Deaconess / Turban Project model, and that's your basic pleated design here. So it's like a rectangle. It looks very similar to a surgical mask. Sometimes you can put in a metal piece so it forms over the nose. In industrial settings like hospitals and whatnot, the metal might not make it through the washing cycle because it's so vigorous. So institutions are now requesting to not have the metal piece in there. But for home use, home washing, it's perfectly fine. How this one works, it's a nice pleat, opens up like this. You put it over. These have the little quick, easy ear loops. Oops, to go on. And I go like that. If you notice, it goes under my chin here, right? Nice coverage here as well. What's important is it collects the droplets. So the whole point of wearing the masks is not to prevent necessarily stuff coming in to my breathing, but it's to collect the droplets and from going out. So if everyone can wear one when they're out and about, it's going to decrease the spread.
I didn't know about the droplets.
Yeah, that's the whole reason.
Is that the pleat reason as well?
The pleat is just to get the better fit,
Gotcha.
right? So it gets you the more expanded fit.
Okay.
The N95 masks, those are going to be the ones that help you to filter, and those are the ones that medical professionals are using in the hospital. So the other kind of mask that we're making is actually for those N95s, and if Tish could come in, I could show you that. So here's what's called the AB mask. It was actually designed by a nurse, and we have lovely ties that go in the back for adjustable. It fits nicely over the N95, which is a little bit of a bigger mask, and it goes more over the face. And how we're supporting the use of these is by using these extends the life of the N95. So the N95 gets dirty, right? So if we can have them wear the mask over that, then it helps the N95 not get dirty as much because the dirt's being collected by this, which can be washed. And N95s are in short supply, right? So there are just not many out there. So if we can just extend the life, then it's great. Thank you. As for washing and care, we recommend using just a simple net bag like this. Most people have one for lingerie or just for delicates. Stick it in the bag like this. It helps protect the elastic. You can wash it on hot and then dry it on hot heat as well. And you do recommend washing it after wearing it. So the whole thing is when you're out, you're going to be exposed, right? So if you can clean it, then it's, the earlier the better. You don't want to be going days and days and days without washing it.
Okay.
So it's good to have one or have more than one so that you can be in rotation. Right. If one's in the laundry, then you're wearing another.
Awesome. Thanks, Chris. So I know distribution has been one of the difficult aspects. Once again, how can people contact? What are we doing to address that distribution issue?
So we have some fabulous volunteers that help. They get in their car and they drive pretty much all throughout Grafton County and Belknap County. We're working on trying to get more people down in the Belmont area, getting some collection sites there because it's quite a bit of a distance for us to be driving. But our volunteers have been wonderful. We have, we're taking masks down to the VA home, the Veterans Home down in Tilton. We've got some different residential housing, some elderly housing. We have distributed a lot throughout this area as well. A lot of restaurants, Section 8 housing, the Plymouth House. We're trying to really focus on the residential areas where there's a lot of people living in close proximity, which increases your chance of transmitting this quickly. So, if we can really help those populations decrease their risk, it's important.
So here, Alex Ray is helping with that process as well?
Yes, he is in process, and I'm sure he'll announce soon his initiative. Great. But he's been a wonderful supporter of our group as well. We're working with them. We're actually standing in the Common Man right now, and they've graciously allowed us to do drop-off spot. This is the drop-off spot for our masks.
Thanks again for joining us here today. Lots of important work. We will have some information at the end of this, some phone numbers you can call, some ways you can support both Pemi Valley Sew the Curve. Like them on Facebook, lots of information there, as well as the Senior Center. There's tons of opportunity to help them out, and they would greatly appreciate it. So Maryann on Main Street, that's a wrap.